Rolling.
We are indeed.
You ready, Alex?
He's ready.
You ready for us, Chris?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
How about the tape?
Thursday, June 2nd, 11 a.m. I call to order this meeting of the Board of Voter Registration and Elections of Beaufort County canvass hearing. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we're administering the oath.
Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I am duly qualified,
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state,
according to the Constitution of this state,
to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been appointed,
to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been appointed,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve, protect, and defend
and preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of this state
the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God. Okay, now I'll administer the oath to the rest of the board.
And the secretary, acting secretary.
I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I am duly qualified,
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state,
according to the Constitution of this state,
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duties of the office
to which I have been appointed,
to which I have been appointed,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve, protect, and defend
and preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of this state
the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Okay. It seems like we only have 5 provisional ballots. The first 4 I was looking over are exactly the same. There was a problem with the ballot marking devices reading the ballots at the Hilton Head Plantation site on Tuesday. So they were all processed as provisional until they were able to work out the kinks. So, but they're all registered, they were in the right precinct, they just did a provisional ballot because at that time the machine would not read their ballots. So, do we have a motion to?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
we still have a few to see.
I'm sorry. Will you
I
cut
know,
the-
I know.
will you cut the seal?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
your time, I'm trying to get you out of here,
Seal number, please.
We are cutting seal number 2571,
I think I
Ma'am.
where we have the provisional ballots. And which one are they missing that you want
forgot.
to?
Susanna Cook, Edward W. Hudson, David Magdalensky, and Ray Magallons. Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve number 1 through 4.
Okay, do we have a second?
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Um,
All opposed? Okay. Okay. And the last one, Mr. Paul Wiersbicki. They couldn't find him in the poll book. Voter says he registered at DMV. Voter registration office did confirm he registered at DMV on March 7th, so that was in time for this election. So, do I have a motion?
Move. Approved.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. So we will take a brief recess so that those can be tabulated, and then we'll come back. All right. I call us back in session. So, election day precincts reporting, 12 out of 12, registered voters, 9,706, ballots cast, 454. 4.68% of the voters in that area voted. Do I have a, oh wait, I read the votes actually. Andrew Paterno received 77.26% of the vote. Ezra Callahan only received 22.74% of the vote with 100% reporting. Do I have a motion to accept the results and certify the election?
I move that we accept the results of the election for Hilton Head Public Service District.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
Carolyn? All in favor?
it. Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Just declare him the winner.
Do I?
Declare the winner.
Mr. Andrew Paterno is the winner of the Hilton Head Public Service District Voting District 4 election. Thank you, Ms. Beverly.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Beverly. Drive carefully.
You will.
Alrighty. So I have a motion to adjourn the canvas hearing.
So moved. Second.
Alright, Caroline and Bernadette. We can have a meeting, we just can't
No
vote on
decisions,
anything.
yeah.
Alright.
We don't have any decisions.
Oh, two, but we can't. The time is 11:36 on Thursday, June 2nd. I call to order this meeting of the Board of Voter Registration and Elections of Beaufort County. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We do not have a quorum, so we cannot make any decisions, but first, do we have any public comments? Nope. All right. We all have the meeting minutes from the April 27th meeting, but we can't vote to approve them, so we'll postpone that till the next meeting. There's no unfinished business, so we'll move on to committees. Mr. Clifford is not here, but we can still, Marie, do you want to fill them in on the meeting?
I'll do it
Okay,
after.
you'll do it in your report, okay. Finance Committee, Elaine Mitchell is not here. Legislative Affairs Committee, Bernadette, do you have anything?
We have not met since the last meeting.
Okay. Beverly is not here. Mr. Rowe, anything for the Rules Committee?
I'm gonna pull together the team that started the effort, but it's gonna be after the 28th of June.
I like it.
Nothing between here and you can be thinking a lot of good thoughts, but I'll be in touch.
All right. No new business, so Marie, we are ready for your report.
Okey-dokey. Okay, let's talk right quick about the election updates. Since we met as a board back in April, lots of things happened in May. So we ended up with an election that happened on yesterday, the Hilton Head PSD, on Tuesday. And like Madam Chair said earlier, we did have a little hiccup at the beginning with, it really was not the ballot marking devices, it was the electronic poll book that was not printing the ballot header correctly. And unfortunately, that was because we were having two elections going on at the same time. And when ES&S programmed the system, they programmed everything as if it was going to be early voting. So our election for the Hilton Head PSD just happened to be on the same day that early voting began. And so, it caused some issues. But what we did, once we realized that there was an issue, the poll managers reverted to manual processing, which is something they all were trained to. Some of them had a little bit of memory lapses, but they were all trained on how to revert to the manual process, and that's what they did. All right, so the governor also, since we met, signed into law an early voting bill on the 13th of May, which we are right now in our early voting process. The bill pretty much said that 2 weeks prior to an election, except for weekends and holidays, we will conduct early voting in the state of South Carolina. And Beaufort County right now have 4 early voting centers. We have one, of course, here at the main office, at the Bluffton Recreation Center, which is our satellite office in Bluffton on Alma Road. And we have one at the Hilton Head Government Complex on William Hilton Parkway, the old government complex, and at the St. Helena Branch Library. And all of those centers are operating with the assistance of poll managers. And so far, everything is going pretty good. There's a lot of reporting that have to come to us at the end of the evening, and, to maintain the chain of custody and and so we are still tweaking that process, but right now, it's working. So just trying to make sure that everybody is doing what they need to do. So, that's our early voting centers, and we need our board members to get the word out. In the community, people that you meet, people that you know, people in your churches, just let everybody know early voting is going on. And also let them know that there is an election on the 14th. So if they don't make the early voting, that we have 2 primaries going on the 14th. One is the Democratic primary, and the other is the Republican. It's all being processed at the same time. So when a voter does come to the precinct to vote on election day, and even during the early voting sessions, they will have to declare which party primary they wish to participate in. So I know there's some confusion where people are thinking they can participate in both. You can only participate in one, okay? We will have a public test of the ballot tabulating machines on next Friday, the 10th of June at 10 o'clock. And of course, I just mentioned the statewide primary. So far as facilities are concerned, Mr. Clifford is not here, but Jean is here. And for the last month, we've been working or attempting to work with administration on expanding our facility here for convenience sake, and to give us an opportunity to have room to process our equipment for voting. It is so tight back there. And you guys know this because you know what our situation is. We have been offered an off-campus facility, which is the Old Harris Pillow Company. And the Old Harris Pillow Company, in my opinion, and some of our board members' opinion, is not acceptable. But they want to still do that. We cannot take our machines off-site. So the only thing, if they decide that's what we're going to get, we can only store supplies out there. And not all of our supplies, just supplies that we don't use on a regular basis. So in my opinion, again, that's, it's not gonna resolve our issue, which is space to work for election. If you go back there before you leave, you can see how tight it is. And Vernon have machines out here where we normally process the ballots. We just don't have no place else to put them. And it's not gonna get any better. because, maybe in 2023, 2024, we're gonna be bringing on additional precincts, which means we're gonna have additional equipment. So, is we gonna just be piling equipment in that little room with no room to work, and it's just not acceptable. So, this conversation, I think, is ongoing, and, we're hoping to have something for the board by the next board meeting. Right now, we can't be doing any meetings. We are conducting in-person, early voting. We are preparing, poll workers for the 14th election. So every afternoon, we are, not every, several afternoons, we have hands-on training scheduled, and we even have some scheduled on Saturdays. You should have gotten that, training schedule. So, and we also, because poll workers did not all attend a briefing, we take one of our sessions and we now have it available, on YouTube. All right, the other issue that we are facing is the fact that our Bluffton satellite office might be going away at the Alma Road. Parks and Recreation, want their building back. I can't say no other way. All right, so we are looking at maybe a site at Myrtle Park, whether or not that will be sufficient to conduct, early voting at, I don't know, because I haven't seen it, which I hadn't had time. So we will look at that as well, but we will, if we move over there, it would be a more visible site for the office. It's a positive. We just need to figure out what we're gonna do for early voting. Because they do have traffic, because other county offices are in that facility as well. So, but that's something that we have to work through. We can't use,
Where's Myrtle Park?
it's
Bluffton
on
Parkway.
Bluffton Parkway.
Okay.
It's the government complex on Bluffton
Okay.
Parkway. The air conditioning unit here hasn't been working for weeks now. They are trying to get it to work, it has not. Of course, we feel like the unit that's back there is not big enough. And, but we have 2 units and it's not working. We have fans going at all times and it's not cooling. I know they came out, I think, the other day and did something. It's a little better, but it's still not working like it should. The one on this side of the building is not working like it should either, so. Air conditioning problems everywhere.
Oh, yeah. We were there. Hilton Head Government Complex.
The Hilton Head Government Complex is where our Hilton Head office is,
Yes.
and the air conditioning is out.
Oh, we were there on
Oh, I
Tuesday.
know.
It
It's
was
awful hot.
stuffy.
So,
It's cooler outside than it is in that building.
yeah, it's not pretty. So the county is having issues with air conditioning.
That's gonna be a voting site on.
Yeah,
It
people
is
are
a
voting.
Right
voting
now,
site.
We're voting now, yeah.
Imagine all those people coming through there with heat.
You walk in and Amber is bright red. It's hot.
She's as red as her shirt.
It's what it is. We all receive a notice that I think the unit has to be replaced. I don't know when.
August.
August?
That's what they told Amber.
Yeah,
Well, it's nice and cool in August, so,
Middle of the summer.
no issues there.
July is,
Perfect, yeah, could be better.
So I already talked about the Myrtle Park. Oh, I must have copied that slide twice. Okay, let's go, let's move on to the next slide.
The only thing you didn't say was the custodial service.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, we still looking for custodial service at the Bluffton office. Staff has been emptying the trash and cleaning the bathroom, but now we got hundreds of people coming through there. They're not gonna be able to do that. So I sent up another request, see if something will be done. Ordinance for the board to accept the transfer of authority for conducting the city of Beaufort municipal election has been sent to county council. I don't know when it's gonna be on the agenda, but, they will have to reciprocate that, ordinance. And then we will be certifying the city elections after that. We already conduct the elections, we just don't certify them. So we will be certifying, just like we did the PSD this morning. You didn't report this in your.
I did.
We did conduct a public hearing on May 25th to hear the challenge that we talked about at the last board meeting of 100 voters that were being challenged by two of our citizens. And that was an experience. It was the first time we've ever done anything like that. And I think our chairman handled the situation very well, very professionally.
Thank you.
And we may be setting up a model for the rest of the state to follow. But it was done professionally. We had, the county attorney was present, along with a court recorder, and of course, our board, and
An actual reporter.
an actual court recorder, you're right.
Right.
So that was all done, and we must remember that that's not all. There will be others coming.
Yes.
Question, Marie, specific to that. What we kept saying to folks is, we'll see what comes by May 31st. We'll see what comes by May 31st. So, May 31st is come and gone.
Right.
What's the deal? I mean,
Well, by May 31st, we sent out notices to those voters that were challenged. Some of them responded. I think we got, well, 2 of them yesterday.
okay,
So what will happen is we will go to those voters who did not respond and code them as inactive, failed to respond.
okay.
However, if those voters do show up to the precinct on election day to vote and verify that their addresses are correct,
Mhm.
then they will be allowed to vote.
Okay. That's important to know,
Yeah.
it really is. Thanks.
I mentioned the briefing earlier that we are still training poll managers, and some of them didn't make the scheduled briefing. Boards, please know that you have the ability to train poll managers, okay? So if they don't make the meeting, they don't go to the YouTube session, and they need to report to you, if one of your poll managers did not go to the briefing, they need to report to you that they have done the YouTube session. And then if you feel comfortable with that, then you need to let them know. So that, because we have to record them as attending a meeting, a training.
You can tell the partners, if you don't wanna do, you can tell them to watch the YouTube. I think I sent the link to them anyway. Everybody that had me trained, I sent them the link, the email.
So you have to follow up on that to make sure that they do, or they will not be eligible to work in the election, okay? Again, hands-on training still going on. Our goal is, because of all the training, because of all the changes in the election laws, we are looking to be more visible in the community by conducting community meetings. We've already done about 4 sessions, and but our time's limited right now. So after the primaries, between the primaries and the general, we are hoping to make ourselves more visible in the community so people will understand how the new law will affect them. All we can do is state the facts, and the facts are what they are. But we've learned a lot in the last 2 weeks. We have learned a lot. We've had a lot of meetings between the state office and county offices, and we've had a lot of meetings with staff, just making sure that everybody understand what's going on and what we're doing. And even staff was included in some of the state office meeting because, before, it's typically directed just for directors, but there was so much information, not that I didn't trust that I was gonna understand, I just wanted them to hear what I'm hearing, and then we met to make sure we were all on the same page. So we've done that, and I'm done. I'm not sure that it's all over. So we may be meeting again before the 14th, whatever it takes, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. So far, the early voting is going real well, and I think with the short period of time and the turnaround time, I think I have to give staff a round of applause because, again, like always, election officials, we do what we have to do, and they did it. They did it. They did what they needed to do. Okay, so with that all being said, that's it for my report.
Alrighty. The only closing comments and announcements that I had was going to be, typically, we do not have board meetings, our regular board meetings in June or July, but we don't have a quorum, so we can't vote on that. So, I don't know, can we do an e-vote on that, like, or does it all have to be, like, how does that work?
What we can do when you think you have a quorum, we can do a WebEx or something maybe, and call another meeting, because I don't think we can do it not as a public
Right.
thing. I don't know.
That was my concern. I mean, Robert's rules will allow you to do an e-vote because this is the county and we have to give notice for any meetings. If you had a WebEx, I would recommend announcing it and then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you saying that Robert rules will allow us to do a.
E-vote? Absolutely.
So.
We do it all the time in my nonprofit.
So we don't have to necessarily have a meeting.
I mean, if I have an issue, like we had to cancel or postpone a meeting, and I just sent out an email and everybody responded and so the next meeting's minutes, it's brought up, so it's included in the minutes for the record.
Okay.
But Robert's rules allows for an e-vote, but the county may have different rules for advising the public. Because it's televised, there may be different rules.
You got that, Jean?
That I do know, but I don't know, do we have to televise it? I'd rather err on the
No,
side.
if she's saying that all we need to do is an e-vote, you don't necessarily, I would think, but you can find out from Mr. Kevin,
Well,
the county
yeah,
attorney.
it's a good idea to walk this through because this may not be the first and last time that this comes up.
Absolutely. So why
Either by
don't,
design or not by design.
why don't we talk to Mr. Kevaney, see if we can do the e-vote. If we cannot, we'll arrange the WebEx when we have a quorum and televise it.
Or again, you can call another meeting after the next campus, which is going to be
June.
on the
16th.
16th. On the 16th.
But we even voted to have this meeting after the canvas hearing. Wouldn't we need a vote to do that? Like, I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying, I don't know.
Talking
But the canvas for this meeting has already passed, so now we're dealing with the board meeting.
Right.
But we can't, well, e-vote or not, if we can't get enough people to,
Right.
you know.
Exactly. Let's talk to Mr. Kevaney and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, but if you come in for the canvas hearing on the 16th, then just go ahead and have that meeting. And then vote not to have a meeting in July and August.
I agree. And it could be a condensed meeting, it doesn't have to be.
I wouldn't,
Since
I
we
We
wouldn't.
may have another canvas too,
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Or
20th,
is it
or the
around?
30th first.
third,
But that'll be,
30th,
A possible canvas,
possible,
which is
Today.
closer to your normal board meeting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
When we had a quorum and could vote it in with them.
Yes,
Concerned about
yes,
this,
exactly,
yes,
exactly.
yes. Well,
Okay.
So I guess until then, we would have to keep the June meeting on the
We
calendar.
would have to keep the June meeting on the calendar. Okay, let's talk to Mr. Kevaney and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So, alrighty. That's all I have. Do you have anything else? Anybody else have anything else?
Thank you all for helping out. What you do.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So what,
Oh, wait, sorry.
You know, I don't do lips. Just what you wanna say.
one of the things that we'd like y'all to do as board members is to talk to each of your clerks and stress the importance of, like when they're coming to training next week, but also for you to stress the importance to them of making sure that they follow the checklist that they're given, making sure that they call, just these points. Now,
Yeah.
if you come from you, it makes a bigger difference. But the points of calling us When they're open, they're calling us when they need. And because so much scrutiny is being placed on elections now, that they have to get this stuff right. You know, if y'all call them before Saturday, that's good, because they'll hear it again from us sitting when they're in the class. But that makes them, it's the little things that make the big problems. We're noticing that, so please, if y'all could say something, I think that makes a big difference.
And we, you know, you need to know what's going on. So, we gotta be out there with them, we gotta encourage them, we got to, if you see something, say something. You don't just go in there and complain about what's going on. You got to correct them. You can't let a wrong be wrong for 12 hours, you know? And that's why it's so important that you at least visit your precincts in the morning so that you can see how things are going, and then back again, because things can start going in the opposite direction in midstream, so, yeah. Please, that's important.
So I now move that we,
Hey, he might move his lips again, hold on.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no.
Carol, that we adjourn?
we don't need a second.
No, we don't.
Thank God.
The meeting is adjourned.
Touchy.
Set an hour.